Skarloey gets a scare. Skarloey is a little old engine with a tall black funnel and a cheeky smile. He works with his friend Rheneas on the little railway that takes passengers up into the high hills of Sodor to see the lakes and waterfalls. He is always eager to work and help his forgetful driver. Skarloey remembers a time when he arrived at a station with cleaning brushes leaning against his boiler because his driver had forgotten to remove them. He even left 2 socks to dry and on Skarloey's buffers once, and the poor old engine was teased by the others. "Look at his buffer mitts," scoffed Sir Handel. When it was Skarloey's turn to take the passengers to the vicarage fete, he arrived rather late. Skarloey felt impatient. He was steamed up and ready to go, but his driver made him wait. He had lost his tea mug and was looking everywhere for it. "Oh, never mind, Skarloey," he said at last. "We mustn't be late." When they arrived at the vicarage, Skarloey felt hot and bothered because he had rushed to make up time, and his driver felt parched because he had no tea. Skarloey looked forward to lunchtime when he could sit in a siding and let off steam. But things got worse. His driver's sandwiches went missing. "I put them up there," he said to the guard, pointing toward the cab. Skarloey groaned with dismay. Skarloey was tired when he returned to the yard that night. He was ready for a good night's rest in the shed, but the driver had forgotten something else. "Where's my torch?" he sighed. "Never mind that now," Skarloey grumbled. "Just open the shed, drop my fire, and let me go to sleep." Skarloey rolled into the shed and quickly fell asleep after the driver and fireman left for home. But he wasn't asleep for long. He woke up with a start to hear loud rustling noises beneath him. He couldn't call to anyone because he had no steam, so he shut his eyes tight and waited for morning. When his driver and fireman arrived to start work, he told them all about it. "With all these noises and all my belongings going missing, I'm starting to think something's wrong," said the driver. "I'm going to speak to the station master." The station master confirmed that none of the driver's belongings had been handed into the lost property office. But he did advise the driver that there had been reports of a burglary at Crovan's Gate, so everyone had to be vigilant. "I'll ask a policeman to pop round later," said the station master. That evening, as Skarloey was taking on water from the water tower, PC Penston arrived with his notebook. "I'll keep an eye on your shed tonight," he told Skarloey's driver. "We'll soon solve this mystery." Skarloey was shut up in the shed again, but he felt safer with PC Penston around. But no sooner had everything gone still than the rustling sounds began again. Skarloey felt scared. The next morning, he told PC Penston what he had heard. "There was no sign of anyone coming in or out," he told Skarloey, "but we'll take a look all the same." PC Penston and his driver investigated the engine shed. They didn't find a thief, but they did discover a tea mug in a toolbox. "Ho-ho! I put it there while I mended Skarloey's footplate," the driver laughed. They soon found the torch beside the telephone. "That's right, I needed to see the phone book at night," he recalled. And a trail of sandwich crumbs, which they followed to a pile of leaves and shreds in the corner of the shed. Underneath was a sleeping hedgehog, her babies, and the remains of the driver's sandwich. "Oh dear," laughed the driver. "I put my sandwiches on the floor while I spoke to the fireman yesterday." He bent down and smiled at the little hedgehog family. "You're quite welcome to them." Skarloey didn't mind sharing his shed with a hedgehog and wasn't afraid anymore. It wasn't long before the Fat Controller arrived with a locker for Skarloey's driver to keep his belongings safe, and a saucer of milk for Skarloey's hedgehog.